Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamila Daura. Thank you for clicking to watch this video. If you are new, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, hi. So today's video we are going to be talking about maximizing your worship as a woman on her period during the month of Ramadan. Nobody likes to be on her period during the month of Ramadan. I don't like to miss fasting. I don't like to do it, but it is also, just put it at the back of your mind that it is also an act of worship. It is ibadah itself. Everything that we do as women that does not give us room to perform, to worship Allah in the familiar way, but in unfamiliar ways, like cooking for your family during the month of Ramadan. It is worship. Taking care of your home, taking care of your children, it is worship. So sometimes we overflog this period issue during the month of Ramadan. Some people go as far as, taking medications to stop it. I don't know the Islamic rulings on that. It is divided. I won't say I don't know, but it is divided. Some scholars says okay, some scholars say no, but I am of the opinion of no, except you're going for Umrah or you're going for Hajj, and you can do that. But the way I see it, stopping period has to be for a certain period of time, but it's not something you pick and choose when to do it. Like you just take contraceptives to stop it, then move back into normal life and stop taking it. Well, doctors in the house, you can say something about it. I'm going to share 5 tips, and it could intertwine differently however you want to see it. But in the month of Ramadan, if you're on your period, just because you're not fasting does not mean that, oh, I'm not fasting, then I might as well be chilling and be relaxing and I don't have to do anything and all that. No, far from it. You still have to worship, because you just don't want to sit down and wasting time and pressing phone and not benefiting from that period. The month of Ramadan is a blessed month. There is the doors of rahmah, the doors of forgiveness, the doors of blessings open, wide open. So why don't you want to participate? Why don't you want to take part in benefiting from all these things? So one of the first things that I always say or tell people is that consciousness of Allah should be something you do throughout, right, our lives. Like, be conscious of Allah, but consciousness means also remembering Allah. So you have to remember Allah consciously even more, because it is tempting to be like, oh, I'm not fasting, then I don't have to do all these things. But the moment you start putting the remembrance of Allah in your mind more actively and intentionally, it will guide you to do other things in the pleasure of Allah. Keep the consciousness of Allah with you even when you are not fasting, and even more when you are not fasting, because fasting would automatically put you in that state. But if you are not fasting, then it will be easier for you to deviate, to be tempted, the whispers of shaitan and all those things. So the best way to do that is to just keep the consciousness of Allah. So how do you keep the consciousness of Allah when you are not fasting? That will lead us to our second tip. Our second tip will you have to increase in your du'as. Learn du'as a lot now. Start learning du'as now if you have not, and so that even when you're not doing anything, if you're less busy, if you feel like you have that free time, during your period, you can be making du'as. Increase the amount of du'a supplications that you make. You are still praying, you're just praying differently, because when you're in your period you don't perform salat, right? But you can still make because prayer can be used interchangeably, either as a depiction for salat or as a depiction for du'as. So you can still pray, like keep praying to Allah, making supplications, asking, because we are still close to Allah. Period does not make us lose Allah's distant attention on us. What makes Allah forget you is when you actually deviate and stay away from his path, and deviate from the path of Islam, and deviate from the path of good deeds. But if you are consciously making du'as during that period that you have a lot of time, you notice that there's that increased remembrance of Allah, and there's also that nearness that would come with it. So supplication, a lot of do lots of supplication when you are on your period, and that will increase your nearness to Allah. My third tip I'm going to give is make this as an avenue to teach yourself, to gain knowledge. That time that you'll be using to be on the phone talking to people that are fasting and wasting their time, or the time that you have to be on the internet, social media use is addictive. So you can imagine someone that have been staying away from social media because she's fasting, and then now she's not fasting, she's not praying, or she's not performing salat, and she feels like, oh, I have time, I have room, I can do all these things now. So no, that is not what you should be doing. You should be listening, or you should be actively seeking knowledge differently. Listening, go on YouTube. My biggest place for knowledge seeking is YouTube, most especially the Yakin Institute on YouTube. That is what I was going to put it in a different way, but one source, my biggest source of knowledge, Islamic knowledge, is the Yakin Institute. And I'm not saying that this equates the knowledge you get from the Quran. What they do is that they beautify Islam in such a way that they tell you stories of the companions of the Prophet, stories of the lifetime of the Prophet, stories of the way you can get closer to Allah, tips on increasing yourself in taqwa, in knowledge, and different kind of resources is what they provide on Yakin Institute. Then who are your favorite scholars? Everybody has favorite scholar, and for me, my favorite scholars will still remain Sheikh Omar Suleiman. He is my favorite scholar. I always listen, watch, because I just learned so much from Yakin Institute. So for the past 4, 5, 6 years, he is just my biggest source of Islamic knowledge aside the Quran, the Hadith. It just simplifies all the things that I've been learning. Then who again? Mufti Menk is there. Sheikh Asim is there. Sheikh Asim is everybody's favorite on Instagram with all his comments and the way he answers his questions. And so seek knowledge actively. And there is still that divide on is it permissible for a woman to hold the Quran when she is on her period. Some scholars says she cannot touch the letters, so long as she's not touching the letters. So if you're someone that is not vast in the knowledge of Quran, like recitation of the Quran, so it will be tricky for you, but you can also use your phone, and you can also actively listen. It is important that is when you have the time to actually sit down and listen to recitation, how the Quran is being recited, and you find out that, you are learning. So by the time you come out of your period and you're going back to active fasting and worshiping again, you will find out that you're entering with renewed knowledge, renewed faith, and that will help you to even perform the rest of your ibadah properly. So my next tip that I'm going to give is for when your period comes during the last 10 days of Ramadan. I am so grateful for my mom. May Allah reward her immensely for raising us in such a spiritual way when it comes to the month of Ramadan. Like, growing up, I used to feel like it was torture when I'll be on my period, or me and my siblings will be on our period, and my mom will still make us wake up in the middle of the night during tahajjud. My mom would always encourage us. Even when you're not fasting, she would tell you, even perform wudu. Even if you know you're not praying, just purify yourself. Wudu is a means of purification, because even when you are performing your ghusl, you are performing wudu to purify yourself. She never gave us room to keep sleeping, because some people make that mistake. They will keep sleeping just because they are not fasting. But one thing she will tell us: when you wake up, perform wudu, sit down and do zikr. There is no ruling against holding the tasbih if you use it. There is no ruling against, now there's even the digital counter. She will make sure we sit down and we perform lots of zikrs. She will make us do it. So this is, like I'm saying, I'm so proud of myself. And Ya Allah, reward my mom. Say a prayer for my mom in the comment section. She is such an amazing woman, a very strong woman, and she raised us right spiritually. She did her best with us. If she had not brought us up in this way, if she had not given us that kind of tarbiyah, we probably will be part of those people that feel like when you're in your period during the month of Ramadan, then you're excused from ibadah. She made sure we never stopped. So that is one thing you can do. that period, if it's during tahajjud, wake up in the middle of the night, carry your tasbih, make your dhikr, make your supplications, pray in ways that does not mean like you're performing salat. Just connect with your Allah, connect with your Rabb, connect with your Lord in that way, and don't just see not praying or not fasting as a way for you to like just waste time and lazy around. I think we've talked about what I can't remember, I don't know what number this would be, but let's carry on. If this is number 4 or number 5, whatever bonus tip I give, take it as number 5, and whatever bonus tip I give, if I've given up to 5 up to this point, make it as number 6. But the next thing I'm going to ask is increase in charitable behavior and such as kindness and helping people and feeding people. Charity is something that should carry on not just during Ramadan, but every day of our lives should be lived in a very charitable way. Make it a duty upon you to be able to do some good to someone every day of your life, no matter how little it is, as simple as smiling to someone. I always say this, that you might be the reason why someone would ever experience love in their life or kindness. So please, if you are not fasting and you are not, praying like in salat, performing salat during the month of Ramadan because of your period, channel that energy to easing other people's lives and affairs. Don't just, if you're a child, if you're a wife, don't just sit down. Oh, you're a wife, you have helps, and you just sit down, you won't do anything because your helps are there. Please, and your helps are fasting, then when your helps are on their own period but they cannot sit down and rest, do you see the double standard? Does that sound good? Does that look good? Even if you are paying them, you are worshiping. You are worshiping. So please, increase your charitable act, feed people if you can. And this would be either a bonus tip or our tip number 5. Be kind, spread love, spread light. Be kind to people, not even within Ramadan alone, but even outside of Ramadan. That will also earn you rewards. Remember, everything you do in the month of Ramadan, it is you seeking for reward from Allah. It is you seeking for Allah's blessings. It is you wishing that one long wish that you've had for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, however long that desire has been burning in your mind. This is another opportunity for you to get it. You don't know who is going to pray for you and Allah will accept it. You don't know what act of kindness and charity that you're going to do that Allah will use it to wipe away your sins. You don't know what you will do in terms of worshiping Allah, whether your recitation of your Quran or just being kind to somebody that you don't know, that Allah will use to open doors of rahmah for you or help for you or send help and intercede for you. So please increase in your, because yes, period is a very emotion, like there's that hormonal imbalance. So do not say that, oh, I'm on my period, I'm having hormonal imbalance, then it's an excuse for you to have shitty behaviors, excuse my French, during the month of Ramadan. No, that is not acceptable. Rise above that period pain. You've been having period pain forever. Rise above it. Let the devil not use that period pain and hormonal imbalance during the month of Ramadan to take away blessings and reward from you. So that is it for this video on how you can maximize your worship as a woman on her period during the month of Ramadan. If I have missed anything in this video, please leave it in the comment section. Let me know. And yeah, subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and see you in my next video. Bye and stay blessed.